Well, hey guys, if you're watching this video, you're watching this because you missed the introduction of digital filmmaking this year, or you've been dropped into the class at some point during the school year. So this is an introduction for what we're going to do. So first of all, I want to welcome you to the program. We have two levels. We have the digital filmmaking class, and then we have the advanced class. If you're watching this as an advanced student, this is going to be kind of a refresher. We're just going to do these things at a little deeper level. Video's really been produced for the digital filmmaking class. So anyhow, let's just kind of jump right into this, and give me a second to set this up, and we will take a look. All right, slideshow. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and bring that up on the screen and get me up here. Okay, so look, just an introduction, and I'm going to kind of fly through this. If I go too fast for you, since this is a video, you can just pause the screen, back it up a little bit, read what's on the slide, and then we'll roll. Okay, so here we go. So hey, what are we going to do this year? This year we're going to talk about classroom technology. This kind of goes in order. I want to make sure that you can use the gear, okay? Professional expectations is important. Now, you're taking this class for one of two reasons. You're either taking it as a VPA, Visual or Performing Art, or CTE, Career Technical Education class. Now, at the heart of what the digital video program is at Healdsburg High School, it is a CTE class. So you're going to be learning things that you normally wouldn't in an art program. You're going to get the arts, I promise you, but you're going to be learning other stuff, and we're going to talk about workforce professionalism, how to carry yourself, and it's a really good section because it's stuff that you need to learn as you get out of high school. Okay, we're going to talk about a little history. We're going to look at the basics of video, the origins and history of video, and then we're going to jump right into equipment. Okay. Cameras, computers, main thing. We'll talk about some lighting, some audio, how to manage media. That's really important. We will talk about television production a little bit. We do have two TV channels. If you have Comcast or Xfinity in Healdsburg, you can look at channel 26 and 27. Those two run right out of our classroom. Okay. And then the last thing on that list there, professional language. Yeah, you got it. Vocabulary. But vocabulary in here isn't just vocabulary for vocabulary's sake. It's things like B-roll. What is a gaffer? Things that are industry terms that you need to know. And we use those terms in the classroom. Okay. So every project has got several phases to it. Okay. It's got the planning phase. It's got the filming phase and then the editing phase. All right. We'll learn the proper terms for that in class. But this is just an example of the paperwork that we'll be filling out. We don't leave the classroom without a plan. No guerrilla video. That's just running out with the camera and just taking pictures. You're going to have a plan, and we'll talk about the right way to do that. And then shooting. Okay, we're going to talk about equipment. We're going to talk about professional framing, camera angles, a concept called matched action. It's up that every actor knows what this is. And that's the other thing about this class is you have to be on both sides of the camera. If we had another class that we were filming, it'd be great. I know that you're taking this class probably not to be an actor, but you're going to have to be on both sides of the camera because as we learn the tech, we got to have something to shoot. Okay. Directing, how to take charge, shooting with editing in mind. Nothing makes you a better camera person than editing your first piece of video that you shot. And then you'll see, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this. Okay. Thinking with ears, that's just about audio. We'll talk about that second semester, and then we'll talk about some lighting and stuff like that. And then we jump into editing. I'm going to let you kind of look down that list. There are some other programs listed there. Just so you're aware they exist. In the classroom, we use Final Cut Pro. I am an Apple certified trainer, master user, but also trainer in Final Cut Pro. been that since, gosh, over 10 years. And what does that mean? That means there's nothing that you can get into in Final Cut that I can't get you out of, okay? Now, if you have experience in another video editing program and you want to talk to me about it, come talk to me, okay? Depending on your level of expertise, I may allow some flexibility. The other thing is you don't have to have this at home. Everything that we do is in the classroom. Now, if you have a Mac at home, if you want to purchase Final Cut Pro, come talk to me. Just some questions I want to ask you to kind of help you through that process. But that is not required. Okay? So that's kind of the outline of what we do in class. The Skills USA. Skills USA is a club, and we have it here on campus. And the best way I can kind of explain it to you is if you've watched any of these competition shows on TV, especially like the Food Network, where they give you, you know, all these ingredients and they say, here, make a 5-course meal in 30 seconds, or they have a time thing. Skills USA is a competition. You compete locally, then you go to state, then you go to nationals, and there's scholarships. There's money involved if you win and if you place. If you're interested in this is not a requirement to be in the class, but I want you to know that it exists. Audio, radio production is one category, broadcast news, digital cinema production. So you'd be working with a team of 4. They don't all have to be from our class. To be honest with you, none of you have to be in the digital video program, but it's certainly helpful. And you would go, you would have a camera, you would have your editing equipment, and you rock and roll. You plan, you shoot, you film, all within a time limit, and these get judged against other schools. And based on a track record on some other film festivals that we've done, I'm going to tell you, you got a pretty good chance in this, even if you don't know anything right now about video. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that in the classroom. So that's kind of the really fast thing about the class, okay? One of the important things to me is getting to know you and you getting to know me. So as we do that, okay, when you see me looking to the side over here, is I have a control panel that I'm looking at for this video. So sorry about that. So anyhow, what was I saying? I want you to get to know me. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to show you, I'm going to be asking you to fill out a form that's got some stuff about you, your interests and background a little bit. But I wanted you to know that, believe it or not, I was in high school once. There you go. Okay, that was me in 1977. That shirt that says Cicada. That was the band that I was playing in at that time. And if you want to look at that anymore, you can just go ahead and pause the video, okay? Normally, if I'm in class, I ask the students, do you want to see more? And they all go, yeah. So I throw up this slide just for some fun, okay? Just to, get to know me. Definitely, guitar and music. I was never into disco. That lower right-hand picture does kind of have this Saturday Night Fever vibe, but that's not me. Upper right-hand corner, that was on Daytona Beach my senior year. That guitar, let's see if I can get my cursor over here, if you can see it. There we go. Oh, right here. This guitar right there is, I made that in wood shop. So I just threw a few pictures up here. I grew up on a lake, had boats and snowmobiles and stuff in upstate New York. All right. So really, okay, who is your instructor? All right. I didn't go to teacher school, okay? They hired me out of the industry actually as an auto shop teacher. I have 25 years as a Honda Acura specialist. But besides that, I've got 40 years in audio production, 30 years in video production. I'm still a professional musician and I play locally, a little bit back east as well. I was the first auto shop teacher at Hillsburg High School, and I'm a professional trainer. I still do that on the side as well. Okay, you can look through that list. Wish we were in the classroom, because then we could, I give you a chance to ask questions or laugh at my pictures. Okay, that's just a little bit about me. Here's the way we roll in class. Okay, Monday, let me move over here so you can kind of read that. Monday, is normally always going to be a lesson day. Every now and then a project will roll to a Monday, but pretty much you can figure that Monday is going to be lesson day. Tuesday, Wednesday block, and Thursday, Friday block, once we get rolling, will be pretty much all hands on. You're going to be either planning, shooting, or editing videos on those days. Okay, so we try to stay really, really busy. You're going to be working in groups. I'm really big on teamwork. So that's just kind of an overview. And normally you can't ask questions to a video, but it's jchevalier@husd.com is my email address. You have any questions or ever anything for me, fire them off my way. Okay, so let me get out of that, and I want to come over here into give me a second here to get my all right, where is my cursor? There it is. Let's get it over here. There. And I'm going to go into Google real quick. All right, so linked on the same page as this lesson, there are, well, that's Final Cut. Oh, you don't see that, so that's great. Linked on the same page as this lesson is well, that's just my computer background because I'm teaching off my personal computer right now. Let me come over here and just fix that. That's just kind of a little funky thing my studio here at home does. All right. So there's 3 forms that I need you to look at, read, fill out. One is the class syllabus. Okay, the course syllabus right here. To be honest with you, the course description, I just did that graphically. Okay, so that's not anything that you don't need to know, but take a look at it. Content delivery, I'll tell you, this is really more for parents and guardian. Content delivery is how the class is taught. Required materials. Just make sure that somewhere in your person you have a pen and pencil, or pen, pencil, and paper. Okay, just every now and then I'll say, hey, everybody grab out a piece of paper. We're going to do this. And you know what? When high school students look at me and go, huh? I'm like, hey, come on. You know, when you got up to school this morning, where'd you think you were going? So at least have that to write with. Okay. Cell phone policy. Here is the way it works in my classroom. You got to draw the line someplace, okay? So here it is. My classroom is a non-cell phone zone, all right? In the classroom. I don't care if the bell is rung or not. In order to be fair just to everybody, I'm just telling you where I draw the line. So if you're texting with parents or somebody or anything before the bell rings, that's fine, but you're outside the classroom doing it. The only thing I'm going to ask is when that bell rings, you're sitting in your seat. Okay? So that's all. If 15 people walk in 30 seconds before the bell rings and you all sit down, the bell rings, doesn't bother me a bit. Okay? So so that's it. Electronic devices, school supplied electronic devices only, no earbuds. Okay? If you have questions, you can ask me about that in class. This is just a little thing on your computer, Chromebook, and other electronics. Homework, once, maybe twice a year, I'll give homework. And if I do, I give you a week to 2 weeks to do it. Okay? And it's always really practical, related to something video or audio. There are quizzes and exams. You guys can read that. Grading. Okay, this is important. If you want to take a look, I do weight the grading. 50% of your grade is what you're doing. Okay, you got to prove to me that you're learning stuff. So as I watch your video, I'll be watching for specific things. At the beginning of every video assignment, there'll be a Google Doc that you can access, and it not only explains the project, it'll tell you the days, when we're going to be planning, when we're going to be filming, when we're going to be editing. That rarely changes. Every now and then something comes up with the school. We got to tweak the calendar. But pretty much when we're in project mode, you're going to know what we're going to do if you just look at that form. The oh, and on the bottom of that form is grading criteria. Okay? And when I grade a video, literally I copy it, I paste it into a grading form, and I go through and I'll watch your video 2, 3, 4 times to see if you've included everything. Okay? So that's how that gets graded. In-class work is 20%. Homework, which I find high school students don't do anyway. I wasn't going to penalize you for that, but I got to tell you, my homework, if I ever give it, is pretty practical. And let me say this. Coming down to this next session about missed assignments or late work and how that relates to like homework. If you miss days, you have as many days as you miss to make it up. If you're not in my class for 5 days, you have 5 of my class periods to make it up, not 5 calendar days. Whatever days you missed, you have that to make it up, okay? If you are, one of the things it says in here is if you missed a day, you need to assume that you missed work and you need to come to me. The clock is ticking from the day that you're back, not from the day that you ask me if there was an assignment, okay? You got to remember that teachers have like I have like 130 students, okay? So, hey, welcome back. I might remember and I might say, hey, see me for missing work, but that's really up to you to do that. Now, if there's missing work and you just haven't turned stuff in and you've been there, you can turn it in late. You're only going to get 60% of the grade. Why? Because remember that workforce stuff I was telling you about? I said practical lessons, career technical education. You continue to do this at your job, you get fired. You don't get 60% of the grade, okay? So, test retakes, okay? 75 or below, you can do a test retake. You can take the test one time. All the details are right here. I'm not going to read it to you, but you can take a look, okay? Extra credit, if your grade is not what you want it to be, you want to do extra credit, come to me. I don't necessarily have a list of extra credit, but depending on what we're doing in the classroom at the time, I will give you something. The only thing I will say is extra credit is to get your grade up, is to improve it. Let me do something extra. So the only way I allow students to do extra credit is if you've turned in all of your assignments, right? If you haven't turned in all your assignments and you say, how do you get your grade up? I'm going to say, how about doing your work? Okay, just real practical. All right, need your name, signature, parents' name and signature dated, and I need this returned to me as soon as possible. Okay, next thing, just real quick, this is a photo release. You're going to be on film, so we have to have a photo release on you. And this is not just because you're most likely a minor. If you're 18 years old, okay, you check this box, I'm 18 years old, and I give my consent right here. Okay. When you registered for school, there is a question there that you check the box. If you do not want your parents say this, if you do not want your students filmed, okay? If you did that at registration, I'll be getting a list of names. And parent or guardian is going to have to rescind that, okay? Because there's no way, no matter how hard we try, there's always cameras all over the place. We could be doing a special and even just a panning shot, okay, of something, and you're over here and you're in the shot. So you either going to need to fill this out and then rescind that, or you can't be in the class, which I would hate. And that's never happened, but there it is. Final thing is we do show movies. I know that most high school students are laugh because most high school students tell me, you know, they sit there and watch R-rated movies with their parents, but you are minors and this is school. So long story short, you can read the form. This just says that I'm going to be I will show movies as examples and things like that. I will not show anything above PG-13. So this is just saying, yes, my student can watch PG-13 films. Okay, so really quickly, those are the forms. You can take a look at them. If you were in class, you'd have them in front of you, but you're not. So, you know, that is it. I am looking forward to meeting you in person if I haven't already. Otherwise, hey, that's it for today. Hope you're going to enjoy the class. And hey, for now, we're out of here. Have a good one.